Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube videos and today is the part 2 of the Puri Jagannath series. And in the previous video we saw how Vidyapati, the most trusted advisor of Indira Dumya, came in search of Lord Neela Madhava to the east, that is to Neeladri mountains. Let's see what happens next. So, in the beautiful mountains of Neeladri, in the house of a Sabara king, there was a sudden knock at the door. There was one very tired Brahmana standing out there asking for some water. A young lady named Lalita gave him a glass of water. And this happened every day for one whole month. Later, the Brahmana married the daughter of the Sabara king, Lalita, and also he stayed in their house along with them. Now, every day after the girl's father comes back from the work of slaughtering the pigs, the whole house would smell so sweet from camphor and sandalwood. And also, he would bring back some fruits and sweets along with him. Now, Lalita's husband Viswasu had doubt regarding the same and asked Lalita. Lalita initially hesitated, but later told him that his father goes to visit Neela Madhava every day in the mountains. And also, his father wants to keep it as a secret to everyone. But after knowing the truth, Vidyapati forced his wife Lalita to talk to her father and advise him to take Vidyapati along with him to the Lord Neela Madhava. Lalita was in a dilemma now. She was scared that if she doesn't fulfill her husband's wish, he would leave her. And if she confessed it to her father Visvasu that she revealed the secret to Vidyapati and now he wants to visit Neela Madhava, his father would be very angry on Lalita. But since she was attached to her husband and she didn't want a very good man to leave her, she developed courage to ask her father. Viswasu clearly denied to take his son-in-law along with him to the Neela Madhava. But after multiple requests from Lalita, who even started crying, he changed his mind and decided to take Vidyapati along, but in one condition. His condition was that Vidyapati comes blindfolded. Vidyapati agreed to this condition but also kept a handful of mustards along with him in his pocket. Now Vidyapati and Visvasu both started their way to the Lord Neelamadhava. Vidyapati tries to feel the sounding effects around him as he could not see and he is blindfolded. And suddenly he hears the chanting of some sacred mantras of the Vedas. And Visvasu screams in excitement. The demigods! They have come to offer their daily worship to the Lord Neelamadhava. We must not delay. Their appearance is very rare. Let's sit and watch. And then he removed the blindfold of Vidyapati. And what they saw entered the demigods from heaven, led by Lord Brahma, Indra, Narada, and various others, all bearing wonderful offerings for Lord Neelamadhava. They enter dancing in the line and all chant Purusha Shukta prayers along with their instruments. Then one demigod ringing a handbell opened the doors to reveal one of the most wondrous form of Neela Madhava, heavily highlighted by jewels. The deity is 6 feet 9 inches tall. Then Lord Brahma offers arati and Indra offers a garland. Then all the demigods also offers various kinds of fruits and sweets. Finally, at the end of the arati, they go back to the heaven. Then Vidyapati and Viswasu both enter and feel overwhelmed by seeing the Lord Neelamadhava. And then Viswasu goes back to the forest again to collect some fruits and flowers to offer the Lord as prasad. Then a sudden voice from the sky speaks to Vidyapati. Wait, O Brahmana, have you forgotten your purpose? King Indradyumna eagerly awaits your return, restless and filled with hope, like an ancestor trapped in despair, like no one to save him. Vidyapati scolds himself for his selfishness, realizing he has neglected his loyal friend in pursuit of personal salvation. Turning to Neelamadava, he admits how the mere glimpse of the Lord has made him forget his wisdom, strength, duty, and friendship. Overwhelmed, he prays to Lord to send him quickly so that the king Indradyumna can experience this divine grace too. Visvasu enters the scene carrying some prasad that he collected for the Lord Neelamadava. When he overhears the mention of Indradyumna, he grows suspicious and asks what is being said. Then suddenly Neelamadava starts speaking to Visvasu. My dear devotee, this is I, Neelamadava, who speaks to you. For many years you have served me, offering these simple fruits and flowers, and I have accepted everything, and I am very pleased with your devotion. But now I wanted to be worshipped in a great opulence. King Indradyumna is my great devotee, and he awaits the opportunity to worship me royally. Now you know my desire. Hearing these Lord's words, Visvasu feels heartbroken. The news hits him like a heavy blow. He struggles to understand why Lord Neelamadava, who used to be very happy with his simple offerings, now wants to be worshipped in a grand way. Vidyapati tries to comfort him by saying that Lord is independent and acts as he wishes. But Visvasu only feels very bad thinking that Lord has rejected him. Things take a sharp turn when Visvasu, filled with anger and suspicion, accuses Vidyapati of turning Neelamadava against him. In his rage, he ties Vidyapati's hands, blindfolds him, and drags him away and puts him in a room. Vidyapati pleads for mercy, but Visvasu, determined to prove his loyalty to God, ignores his cries. Meanwhile, Lalita, Visvasu's daughter and Vidyapati's wife, sees what is happening. Shocked and upset, she decides to help her husband. She feels torn between her life as a simple sabari and a wife of a learned Brahmana. Even though she doubts herself, her love for Vidyapati gives her the courage. She vows to save him, even if it means risking her own life. Lalita finds Vidyapati, who is tied and is feeling hopeless. Lalita unties Vidyapati so that he can escape out of the room. Vidyapati assures Lalita that the king will award her for her bravery and that they together will fulfill the Lord's wishes. Before leaving, Lalita urges Vidyapati to escape as soon as he is released. He agrees, saying that he will travel day and night to reach the king. Lalita asks him not to forget her, thinking that he might leave her behind for the luxuries of Avantipura. Vidyapati reassures her and promises to return along with the king Indradyumna and his army to honor Lord Neelamadava. Let us see what happens next, how Vidyapati reaches to Lord Indradyumna, what happens to Lalita, and the story ahead. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you really like this, please like, share, and put your comments below and let me know the areas where I can improve myself. Thank you and bye.